Okay, so I'll be honest, I am making this video with the sole purpose of riling up all the hashtag Team Red diehards, but in this episode of the Basement podcast, I'm going to be looking at the new comment section with Reagan Conrad. If you like this sort of thing, please like, subscribe, share. Anyways, the first thing I noticed that the channel is still just called the comment section, not with Reagan or anything special, just the comment section. Not really worth reading into. It's a show, not necessarily a podcast, though it can be treated like a podcast, but it is a show, and like a lot of shows on YouTube and TV, they are not named after the host. New name works fine for me, keeps the spirit of the show because it is the same show. In Reagan's first episode as the new host, we see a few new things. First, Reagan, and she is flipping the script on what the comment section has been previously. Namely, gone are the cringe and certainly uncomfortable Beats headphones, and they are replaced with black headphones. These ones are Marshall Major 4s, I think. And I can almost guarantee they're more comfortable and sound better than the Beats, because Beats are garbage. Also, the BC on the Shure SM7B microphone has been replaced with an RC in the same style. The channel picture has been replaced with a picture of Reagan, which is infinitely better than the generic white headphones it was previously, and in my opinion is a nicer photo than the one they used of Brett previously, and on par with the first picture of Brett they used. Channel banner has also been replaced, though the old one is still on Social Blade, if you want to see it. Speaking of Social Blade, the comment section channel has lost over 100,000 subs, and their views are down 43%, though that could also be due to posting nothing for 4 days after generating a lot of attention. But I get not posting for 4 days. I kind of do it a lot. And I also get not posting for 4 days on their part because they have some implementation to do, such as the whole set has been redone, replaced with a softer, darker, and more neutral color palette compared to the previous two sets. Still well lit, much better than the previous set, but has a more warm and cozy vibe to it. New keyboard, new wall, new shelf decor, and the weird mug has been replaced with a much more practical mug than the one that Brett had. Same Logitech mouse, but a different color now. I really wish they got Reagan a nice mouse, like an MX Master or something. It's just better in every single way than the one they have, but oh well, not my call. Generally, the new set is actually super aesthetic. I like the color coordination on the back shelf. Same with they have the same weird green light fixture in the corner. And this whole set has a bit more going on in the background with the shelf clutter. It's hard to say if it's better or worse, because while having more stuff, it also has a bit more semblance of organization and order to it despite having more things. Also, another reason things have taken a while is because of sponsors. Reagan's first episode dropped with a sponsorship complete with a personal coupon code, not code WIRE, not code comments or something dumb, but code Conrad. Yes, I've been referring to Reagan by her maiden name Rohrbach, but all her socials are now Reagan Conrad, and so is the sponsor codes, which totally makes sense. Rohrbach is actually really hard to spell and say, and Conrad is spelled very conventionally and is just as easy to type as Cooper. Another thing that people are noticing is that they're cutting much faster. Actually, people who aren't as familiar with video or content are confused because it can be distracting, but it is actually kind of smart. They're cutting so fast between angles and zooms and clips because it is more engaging. The videos are having trouble, and they're going to have trouble getting people watching because it's not Brett. So you cut faster, you make it more engaging. It's the same principle that why short form content is so addicting, and it's the same reason Cocomelon gets kids absolutely locked in, because they cut every couple of seconds. Things constantly change, and it's always something new and different, and therefore more addicting. In the third episode with Reagan, they have slowed it down a little bit, but it is still fairly quick. In this case, of course, the pool of things they can cut to are limited because they have 2 camera angles and a couple levels of zoom and then a few other clips they can cut to, but they're doing the best with what they got. I don't blame them for doing it. I've done it myself on certain video projects, and if you find it distracting, consider looking away, but they're doing it so you don't click away, and that's the highest priority on YouTube. Movies don't need this as much because there's a certain level of commitment you put in when you're watching a movie or a TV show. But in a world like YouTube where other options are directly beside the video you're watching, you really need to lock in people's attention. And if it keeps you watching. Nuts. Okay. Anyways, the last thing I want to talk about is, I've been thinking more about this recently. I mentioned it in the last video, but it is the people saying she's imitating Brett. It's really creepy. She has weird vibes. And sure, maybe she's imitating Brett, But then does that mean she's working through these videos and thinking, how can I make this more Brett-like? How can I make saying this more Brett? Probably not, because that's a huge waste of time. We also know they were really good friends. So maybe, just maybe, they were friends because they had similar personalities and mannerisms, or they have similar mannerisms because they've been friends for a while now and worked together every day for a long time. Maybe it's just me, but I have similar tendencies to the people I live with, and not just family. My roommates and I behaved and acted differently from how we did at first when we met, and then we did at the end of our time together. So maybe don't read into that as well, people. Also, in Reagan's third video, which just released the day of recording, she's already less and less Brett and more Reagan, which is great. That's exactly what I said would happen. Anyways, no one else is less and less Brett. The comments in Reagan's first video as the host, 100% of the comments were about Brett, and it's so suspicious, and Reagan's weird and creepy, and just dunking on Reagan, and yeah, same as in Brett's last video. They're all saying, oh, Reagan's not the same, she's not good. In Reagan's second video, some of the comments are actually on topic. Not many, but some. And by the third video, I would even go so far as to say majority of the comments were on the topic of the video and not Reagan or Brett. And the Brett diehards are actually taking a hint and moving on. Not to mention that Reagan didn't introduce herself as the new host at the start and just got right into the video, which is great. That is a really good start. Because eventually, this is all going to blow over and it's going to get less and less and less controversial with every video they put out. And it's going to get even less controversial when Brett starts making her own content, unless Brett drops some kind of bomb. But I don't think there's a bomb big enough to really shake this up. So this is a short little basement snippet that's just going on YouTube. So like, subscribe, leave all your hate comments below. I read all of them. And so if yours gets a like, then you're smart. And if yours doesn't get a like, then you should reconsider your thoughts and maybe change your opinions to fit mine, because I'm always right. Anyways, thank you for listening to this episode of the Basement Podcast. Goodbye!